This is Todd. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video. Today is going to be a live feed. So the first thing we had was a question about Battle Cat. And so I thought I'd answer that question first right off the bat. I had someone ask me, they said, hey, I have an old Battle Cat from the 80s. What can I do to fix the strap on him? And so, oh, hold on a second.
Drink fluids. Get plenty of rest.
Let's do my sound check while I'm here. Sound check, 1, 2, 3. Sound check, 1, 2, 3. Cool. All right. So they asked me, what can I do to fix the strap on my Battle Cat? So there's a couple things you can do. One is you can actually get these like cord keeper type Velcro straps, and I've used those in the past before. And basically you just take the strap and you wrap it around, and they're basically a Velcro strap that has Velcro on both sides. Two, which I actually like better, is you can get one of these beasts right here that's made for the Joker to ride, and I have a link in the description. And it came with a saddle, and the saddle actually had a strap on it that seemed to work really well for my Battle Cat. In fact, here's a strap right here that I used from that Joker, and you can see it's a little bit smaller than the opening, so it does fit in there kind of nice. And then it just goes up and over the top. Now the bottom part where it connects is actually a lot smaller, and it is a lot longer than the original Battle Cat one. So you can kind of see how that fits in there. And just is a great replacement. And I actually got my Joker mount, or you want to call it, on clearance on Amazon when it was on clearance. But unfortunately, they're no longer on clearance on there. But the link I gave you, there are some loose ones on eBay if you just want to steal the strap. Now, one bad thing about this awesome looking scary beast, which I actually use just to have in the background of He-Man by Castle Grayskull, is it's solid. Nothing moves on it. There's no articulation points. Even its mouth doesn't open. And I think the mouth should have opened that, but just even that one feature would have been cool, because I could see like Batman getting caught in there and fighting, or Superman ripping the mouth open or something. So I don't know why they didn't just add a jaw articulation. Just that one little extra detail would have made this really cool. Anyway, that's not what we're here for totally. That was just to answer somebody's question. For this, we're actually going to finally fix the Tila with that head. I got my Dremel tool back. It's funny, I had time and no Dremel tool, and then I had the Dremel tool back but no time. But today, I have both time and the Dremel tool. So let's go ahead and fix Tila first, and then we'll move on after that. So many of you guys have seen this Tila figure. She is kind of cool and stuff. She does have her own things that, you know, some people like, some people don't like. And what I was tempted to do was get a second one just so I could tear her hair off and then use the hair from this figure on this head so it still has the same Tila face. But for right now, we're just going to do a head swap on this. But in the future, I'm probably going to tear the head off that figure and paint it the same hair color and just put it on top of this head that's already there. But for right now, just do a simple head swap. So let's go ahead and stick her in the vat of hot water. The vat of water. And let's soak her head in there and take it off. All right. So the second thing, as you guys can see, I got a lot of Star Wars stuff sitting around because I like to mix Star Wars with my He-Man figures. I know it sounds kind of crazy. It's like there's actually a multiverse of Star Wars. This is one of them. And so you can see I got my cool classic size Darth Vader there that I've made. You can see he matches pretty good to a classics figure. And then I have made my own version of Princess Leia that you guys may have seen in my videos, like Death of a Thousand Roses. I guess I could change the name to Laser Guns and Roses. And you can see here she is dressed in her royal gown. And then here she is dressed to go party with her friends. So you can kind of see the different styles. And I always wanted to get a good R2-D2 that fit the right height to those figures. And I got a whole entire video on different R2-D2s. This is one that I actually thought I would like for a while. And this one right here, even though it's a pretty good size R2-D2, it didn't have a third foot. So I actually made this on my 3D printer And it's the first time I ever made something that was articulated. So it actually has articulation in it. So that was kind of fun for something different. And then it just mounts on there. And it has some weathering to it. You can kind of see some of the parts that are weathered to it. And I got a whole video showing this particular figure, so I'm not going to go through it all again. But then I found another R2-D2 someone is telling me about, which came in a pack of 2, R2-D2 and C3PO. Actually came in a pack of 3, I think. It came also with BB-8. And this figure is actually made of metal, and it is massively solid. And I think the height is actually better for the Classics figure. It looks like it's actually better fit. And I was hoping the C3PO, since it came with it, would also be better fit. But I think it's just a little bit too short to match with the Masters of the Universe figures. I mean, maybe if you want a shorter C3PO, I suppose it does work. Its weathering, though, is over-weathered, I think. And the foot, I found out, does lock in place. I didn't know that at first. I was kind of complaining about that on my first review. But if you push it up and then push it way up, there we go. Then it actually locks when it clicks in place. And so there is the metal R2-D2, which does fit nicely. So my problem is now to make a custom R2-D2, and one of the fans here said, hey, just make your own. Oh, I'm sorry, C3PO. Just make your own C3PO. So I decided to take the guy, Optic, and I decided to use his body to make it, but I needed a head. I thought, you know what? This will be kind of a cool head. It's different enough so that it looks like, you know, C3PO, but yet kind of has a fun little different change to it. I mean, obviously it is C3PO, but it's going to need a little bit of work to fit on this head. So with that, we're going to go ahead and make that work. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Tila. I'm sure her head has been soaking long enough in there. And we'll just pull that off. Boop. Now the problem with this Tila head is this head is much larger. The hole is much larger than the hole in the original Classics head. Now, luckily, I got a lot of these extra heads from customizing, so I'm not too worried about sanding one out. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Dremel tool and just sand it out so it can pop right on there. And let's see how that looks with her new head. So I got my Dremel tool here. Wow, no one's making any comments. Oh, someone did. Let's see, Subline Shredder, thanks for joining us, man. Actually, I'm going to bring this out just a little bit more before I start. And then use the wrench. Now, I probably should cover this water while it's sitting here to make sure that it doesn't get too cold. For the water to work, it needs to be about 205 degrees Fahrenheit, so you got to keep it really warm by keeping the lid on. All right, let's go ahead and draw our head out. Dun-da-da, here it goes. Always scary doing this. That looks pretty good. Let's see how it fits on there. Still a little bit tight. So I'm going to switch tools. Yeah, I'll go with this one here. I was going to go with the other one, but this one will heat the plastic up more so it can, because it's not as coarse. All right, it's still pretty tight. That's what I want. So that way then when I heat it up with water, it should fit in there nicely. Let me go ahead and just do a little bit more so it will pop in place. I'm going to open up the back side of it so that the ball joint will actually make a spot in there. And then I'm going to toss her head into the vat. All right, so we'll just set her aside and have her wait for her head. And while she's waiting for her head to heat up, let's go ahead and open up the C3PO head. Let's take a look at your guys' comments, see what you guys said. Wow, now you guys posted a lot of comments. Hello, just got my Tila today. It's really a good figure. Yeah, surprisingly, it is pretty good. I'm just not happy with the hair. What are you working on, Todd? I'm late. Mike, just doing some head swaps on some figures from quick customs. Yes, that'd been awesome if she came with an extra head. That'd been cool. What is R2-D2 doing in Masters of the Universe? He can't fly to Eternia. Yeah, like I said, Rick, I like to mix my things. I also use DC figures also with my He-Man figures. And we've seen actually a comic where Superman and He-Man fought, so not that too surprising that signs have mixed properties. All right, so let's go ahead and take the chain out of his head. Oh, that is one long screw. Ba-dink. Now, first thing I noticed was the coloring is slightly different. You can see that this is more bright and this is more dark. So I'm going to use some inks on it to darken it up a little bit so it matches. I'm going to test it on the body first to see how that works. And the body feels like it's made of rubber. So I should be able to pull this thing out of here. You know what? I'm going to heat it up first, then pull it out. So let's drop him in the water. But before I do, let's pull Tila out. Come on out of there, Tila. And let's drop him in. Burp. There he goes. Hopefully his paint's not ruined by that hot water. We'll find out pretty quick. Oops, wrong person. We'll just go ahead and pop that head on there. And there we go. Now, I'm looking at it. It looks like she has like a really short neck. So now I'm going to have to fix that. So to fix that, I'm going to stack some O-rings inside of her head. Now, I didn't dig down any deeper. I only dug wider. So that's definitely going to be an issue. So I'll be right back with some O-rings while that head's sitting there. You guys can sit and watch the head in the water. And I'll be right back. Alright, I got my O-rings. Now, for those of you that are always asking me what O-rings do I use, I got this whole entire box here that I've populated with all kinds of O-rings, and the sizes I use are on he-bro.com. And I'm debating which one I want to use. One of these little white ones right here, which are a little thicker than the black ones, or this little black one. Now, it looks like her neck is pretty crunched down there, pretty far. So I'm going to go with the white clear one. And these here are actually made for beads to stop them on the strings from getting too far away from the edges. I just happened to find a whole sack of them. I thought, you know what? Those will work good for all kinds of stuff. So let me go ahead and swap this out. And I'm just going to stick this right in the bottom of her head. Right down there to make the ball joint sit up a little bit taller on there. And let's see if we can get this to work. So you can see how it's just sitting down there on the bottom. Well, that does look a little better. Now she's not quite so scrunched down her head. And, you know, I'm not sure if I'm a fan or not of this head. It does look a little big on her. We'll see. I may buy a second Tila just to do a hair transplant. But I think overall I do like that look better right off the bat. So let's set her aside and let's go ahead and get C3PO's head out of the hot water, or his whole body. Ugh. Ooh. Hooray! We got it off. I should have aimed it better so you guys could see. Wow, you guys got lots of questions. All right, Mike, feel like to see your new figures you got. That sounds pretty cool. So our goal was to get this on here. So we have two spots we have to clear out. first the hole in the middle, and then this spot right here for his head to sit a little bit low on that neck. So I'm going to use the small one for the hole, and then this large one here for the cutout for his neck. So there you go. That's my plans for doing this. So let's go ahead and start with this first. Hopefully it's not completely hollow inside there. Otherwise, I'll have to build it up with O-rings. It does feel pretty hollow, so I may have to do the old O-ring stack up on there. Now something else I could do is I could fill it full of epoxy, then just jam the head on there. And that might work pretty good too, just for filling it up. All right, here we go. Let's see how that looks on top of his head. I guess I could go a little bit lower on that. Let's see how this one looks now. If you have any extras, you want to pull it off while it's still hot. Otherwise, you'll end up having a hard time getting them off later. I just want to go a little bit lower on that. All right, pull off those extra little pieces and let's jam this on again. Hey, that is about where I want it. There we go. Now we got ourselves a crazy looking He-Man R2 or C3PO. So now I'm going to want to change the color on this a little bit just because it's a little bit too bright for his head. Now I could stick with that same bright color, but I think that's just not going to look really great. So let's go ahead and put a little wash on him. Let me first unplug my power tools here. Oh, there we go. Avoid injuries. Yeah, Anthony, it does look kind of funny. Arrgh. That is kind of crazy looking. I kind of like it. It's C3PO. He's supposed to look kind of funny. So let's see. I was thinking about using this skin wash mixed with a little bit of black. Let's just mix these right up right here. We get our head out of there so I don't accidentally ruin the original Tila head. Burp. Ba-doop, ba-doop. All right, let's just test a little bit on his little body here to see how it looks first before I go hog wild all over the place. I'm going to need a little bit of water too. I can see that already. There we go. That looks pretty good. Just wash that right on there. Yep, that's going to work really good. So let's go ahead and do his head. Just kind of smear it all around. And it will slowly darken as you put each layer on, until eventually it starts to look more and more like the original body I stuck him on. Just need a little bit more. When you're doing the wash, sometimes it takes so long just to get the color to change. I probably should have pulled his head off to do it to get better under his chin, but that's okay. He's not going to be that main of a character anyway. He's just going to be once in a while when I decide to pull it out and do Star Wars stuff. If I ever make another stop motion video, he'll be in it. Now, using a black wash like this instead of brown and black works really good for sticking onto your silver in order to make your silver just look a little bit darker. It's kind of a cool trick, like to put it on your swords and stuff when you're making them. They don't look quite so bright and toy looking. It just gives it a little more look of like realism almost. All right, there we go. Ta-da! And now R2-D2 can have his buddy next to him. Real quick. Kind of a strange looking C3PO, which is what I was going for. It's the He-Man C3PO. What are those paints you use? These are the Valo game color paints, and I use these all the time. These work great for putting on just light washes and inks. And so if I need to change the color of something and it's really close, like when I did my Mum-Ra, he was too blue, so I added a light wash of green on him and just made him look just the right shade of turquoise. So you can just do little light washes on things like that, And it's better than just trying to paint the whole thing. I mean, you can see it's not perfect, but it sure got a lot closer than what we had originally. I mean, you could see the original color difference between the two. So, yep, kind of a fun way just to quickly change the color of something without altering the whole thing. All right. C3PO's been working out. Oh, he's been pumping iron. So, there you guys go. I was thinking about making some kind of thing on his chest for the circle, but I thought, nah. This is a different universe in Star Wars. He can look different, just pretty much gold. I didn't want to give him a red arm or a silver leg. Just a really quick, easy update that you guys could do too. Yeah, it already has crossed over with DC and Thundercats, so sure. The problem is, like I said, with most Star Wars figures, they're usually so short that I have to recreate the customs to make them work. As you can see, my Princess Leia's are actually Mara of Primus to make them work right. And then, of course, my Darth Vader's a mixture of a bunch of different figures to make them work right. So, but kind of cool. All right, so while you guys are sitting here joining me, let me show you something even cooler about these Star Wars figures. Those who've been on my channel for a while have seen this already, but what's fun is I like to use lasers. Let's see. I may have to change the batteries now. I'm playing them too much. Burp. There's the purple one. There's the red one. My green one. So I wanted to show you, which is so cool looking. Oh, there we go. Oh, and it stopped. Burp, 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 burp. Hooray. Is I like to take these lightsabers that I made and then take the green laser and shoot them through the lightsaber. And you can see this room is super brightly lit right now. Look how awesome that looks. Hold on a second. Let me turn the lights off. Lights off.
Okay.
There we go. I still have my main overhead light on, so there's still some light in here. But you can see how cool these lightsabers look. I mean, and so taking the laser and shining it in the bottom half of this thing I made. And when I made my lasers, the lightsabers, I wanted to make the bottom bigger, so it's like a blast coming out. I know that's not normal for the movies and stuff, but I wanted something different for my lightsabers. So, and you can see, here's Darth Vader. Let me kill the last light. Wow, it's dark in here now. Okay, I'll turn this light on for a second. Look for the red. There we go. You can see how cool that looks. So it just lights up the lightsaber, and it looks cooler in person if you get it lined up just right. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to mess with it. Whew, bright light, bright light. And of course, he's holding his little Rose figure. So, all right. Well, that's all I got for right now. I should have some more videos tonight showing the opening of Stratos and Buzz Off. And that would be cool. And then also some more working on my dungeon. I have to put the resin on it and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to do it live on video or not. We'll see. So, and the dungeons are just about done when it comes to all the printing. I just finished the last print piece of it today. So that'll be cool. I need that Beast Man. Yep, that Beast Man's going to be changed into a 2000X-ish Beast Man soon. Yeah, your sword's as big as mine. Yeah. All right. Yep, gonna do the hair transplant. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye now.